Welcome in, everybody. It is Sunday Night Live, and this is the beginning of what we always do in the offseason as we get ready post-combine to get to that NFL draft. We're doing a live mock draft, and you guys are riding shotgun tonight. You're going to vote in the chat tonight and tell me what we're doing here. As a collective, welcome to RGR Football. I'm Ryan going rogue. That's RGR, and that's what we're doing tonight. Dan is on his way up to the frozen north. I hope he's doing well. So it's just you and me tonight. We're going to get a couple of things done, but I want to start with a couple of quick announcements. First, I got a super chat late on the last live stream that I do want to get back to right away and make sure that I get an answer out of this. It was Nick Lennington. Thank you for your support, Nick. We very much appreciate it. And folks, if you want to support the channel, super chats are the easiest way to do it. You can do it live right here in the chat. If you're watching this on replay, you can leave a super sticker or a tip or whatever you want to do. That supports the channel. You can also check out the gear store and get some of the Mahomes MVP stuff. You can get some of the Rogue Nation gear. That all helps us as well. And then I do want to remind everybody the other way that if you want to support the channel and the work that we do here, there's a really nice way that's coming up. For the first time, I'm letting people pre-order the Athletic Matrix. I've been under the weather all weekend. I'm still not feeling 100%, so it's dragging out a little bit, but I'm still about 3 weeks earlier than I normally am this time of year, and I'm going to try to get that out this week. The Athletic Matrix is the next-gen model of athleticism that I combine every stat available athletically to give you the bottom line numbers. And this is a predictive stat that's worked out very, very well from my 20 plus years of performance coaching and understanding what the criteria are for functional, versatile athleticism on the football field. So that said, don't want to get too far ahead of that. There's a link in the description if you want to hit that. It's over at rogueapc.com. But right now for you guys, you're the pre-order group. I don't have it out for the public yet. So it's just you all for right now. But second thing, Nick, his question, do want to get back to that. Who is a guy that you think is a sneaky first-round possibility for the Chiefs? So here's where it comes down to. It's going to be about the way the two positions fall, the edges and the offensive tackles. And we're going to talk about that here in a little bit when we start up our mock draft. That is definitely coming. And we're going to get to that here very, very shortly. Let me get that ready. So we are going here in a second. But depending on how that falls, what are you left with? I don't think it's going to be an early run on wide receivers. So I think you're going to have an option there. I don't think it's going to be one of the top three. But after that, I think the Chiefs will have an option there if it's late in the round. I think there's also the possibility that somebody like a falling Brian Branch could come down there. There's a number of other possibilities. I think running backs will be available, but I don't think the Chiefs should do that. For those of you that are new to the channel, make sure you hit the like and hit the sub because you'll come to know that I am very much a proponent of the run game, but not necessarily of the high draft pick running back. So two different sides of that coin. I think those will be available, but I don't think that they're going to be, go get it right now. So my thought is maybe a couple of things could happen. Maybe a power edge rusher could fall down the list. A lot of love for Tyree Wilson out there. I don't think he's the guy, but maybe that pushes Myles Murphy down. Maybe he gets to that point where it's in striking distance, not necessarily at 31. Maybe they got to go up to 25 or something like that to get him. You could see that. I do think the second trio that really only two options are there for the Chiefs, and Anton Harrison and Darnell Wright are going to be there. So I think there's going to be an option there. So I don't know if there's a whole lot of falling there. But, Nick, there's going to be a couple of positions, branch of safety, the wide receiver group. This tight end group is highly lauded. I'm not as sold on it as everybody else because I think there's a couple of really, really neat kind of like eccentric options. They're going to be there at the top of day three. That's about the range that I start looking at tight end. But a lot of folks are interested in that. We're going to figure out in our experiment tonight how it works. And for those of you who haven't been here through the offseason with me, a lot of new fans here, a lot of new subs in the last 9 months. This is how I do it. I walk through the reasoning of each pick, and you guys make the pick in the chat. I'm going to give you an A or B option. You guys are going to vote, and we're going to roll with it. So that helps quite a bit. And that gives us one scenario. Next week, we'll come back. We'll do another scenario. Dan will be back with us on some of these as well. So it won't just be you and me. We'll have some input from him too. And we might even have some special guests on Sunday nights. I'm looking forward to doing a couple of new things. So that said, item 1, item 2 are down. Item 3, Met some really nice folks this weekend out here in Colorado at a wine tasting of all things that my wife wanted to go to. And it was kind of a lot of fun to run into some other Chiefs fans. So I did want to say that for the folks that I met, very much a pleasure to hang out with you for a minute. I appreciate that. And I'd love to get in touch with you all. I kind of keep a running list of Chiefs fans in Colorado. So if you would contact me here at rgrpodcast@gmail.com, that would be great. Love to get back in touch. And I appreciate your time yesterday. That's quite fun when I get to go out with folks who don't know my football side and we get to stir it up a little bit. That's always a good time for me. So that said, I got a couple of questions starred. We will get to those later as we go through the process. But right now, I'm going to switch the screen here, and we're going to get to the point where we start to do this mock draft. Now, a couple of caveats here. I have a trade screen up here right now because we got to do a little bit of maintenance. With the official picks coming out just the other day, a lot of the machines, in fact, none of the mock machines have updated the actual picks. So we got to do a little bit of maintenance. It's pretty close here on PFF. They are the closest right now. It's 31, 63, 95. It is 122 actually, and 134. 67, 77. I think that's actually 78. And then we get into the trouble area. The Chiefs have 217, but they're currently holding 216 and 218, and they do have 250. So that actually worked out perfectly. So that's going to be where we're at. Now, the one they're missing is 249, which should be the Philadelphia Eagles. And it is. Okay, so I'm going to make this trade off the bat just so we get our actual draft picks correct. And then we'll start talking through the draft, okay? I'm going to have to force this trade because it is lopsided, and they don't generally like that at PFF. And now it even looks like – there we go. Force that trade. Okay, so now we're back to 49. We'll still have – oh, did I mess that up? I think I did. Should have kept one of these, because we have 217 for real. Appreciate the questions coming, you guys. We're going to get to those a little bit later as we go through the process. Tatum, glad you made it. Night Hunter, thank you. Please, guys, if you're here, would you hit that thumbs up? That would definitely help us. I'm going to have to restart this real quick just to get that right, because I should have kept one of those. So we're going to go Chiefs. We're going to go 7 rounds. We're going to take off the defaults. We're going to go a little bit more of that board and a little less random, because I think teams are planning this thing out pretty well. We're going to go to Philadelphia, and we are going to grab 249. We are going to give them 218 and 256. So we'll actually end up with the Chiefs 217. We're going to call this close. And then the 249 and 250, which is the reality. Good to see you, Gary Holland. Nice to see you. Miss Holly Winchell, nice to see you as well. Big Doug, appreciate you being here. We're going to force that trade, and now we are right as rain. So we are good to go. Let's start this draft, and I'm just going to pause it after a couple of picks just to see what happens here real quick. So Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, right off the bat. That could actually be what happens. Then we come back and we got Jalen Carter, the big defensive tackle, who's in a little bit of trouble, but I expect him to fall farther than this. But right now, that's still a fall. Then Will Levis, Tyree Wilson, like we talked about a little bit before. Now, here's what we got to look at before we get really started, because if we get an offer to go up in here into 14, 15, 16, 18, 19, even 20, now that the Seahawks have gone and given Geno Smith a contract, I feel like that could be something that they're ready to move on from. And I'm sorry I got my I have to take myself all the way off here so you guys can see this. You guys give me a comment in the chat here. Is this zoomed in enough, or do you guys want me to get a little bit closer and try to blow it up some? Let's see. Sugary's got a question there. I'll answer that while you guys are voting. 63 and 24 second for Tunsil. Any chance that trade is possible? I mean, I think the Chiefs would love that, Sugary. Let me put that on there. I don't think there's any way Texans are going to take that. So I would hold my breath on that one. Do they make a move for Tunsil, Pono? I think they look at it. I don't think they end up doing it. I just don't think they're going to get a trade that they actually like. Dave, nice to see you, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Jeremy, thank you. And hey, thanks for Miami. Every pick counts. You get up there a little bit. Jeremy, appreciate you. Scotty, yep. Rogues draft last. You got to love that. Chiefs do too right now. Real quick, Brian, how about trading CH to move up in the first or second? Cowboys need at 26 need a running back. Yeah, but nobody's giving you anywhere close. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is probably worth a 6th-round pick at most right now. I don't even know if they could get that. Tatum, glad you're here, buddy. Glad you made it. Let's see what you guys thought in the chat. And let's see. So zoom in or no? Looks good, looks good, looks good. That's good. Okay, good. We're gonna hold tight there then. Okay, we'll come back and we'll answer some questions here a little bit later. So, okay, so like I was saying, if we get into this high teens range, I think that's something the Chiefs have to consider. So I don't see any trade offers yet. I'm not going to go initiate one because I want to kind of play this out as though it were real. So I'm just going to resume the draft and see if we pause again at 18 or at 12. I'm sorry. Do we get any offers yet? No, we don't have any offers. Okay. So what else did we see come happen next? We saw Skoronski go, the first tackle. Bad sign for us. We saw Will Anderson go. I don't think there's any way that Will Anderson falls to 7. That's kind of ridiculous. But hey, this is this scenario tonight. It'll be different tomorrow. We're going to go through them all, and we're going to see how they go. Hey, I like the way you're feeling there, Raving. You should slow down the speed. Okay. Unfortunately, I cannot do that at this point, Jackson. I already had that setting set to the default, so it just is what it is. But I'll definitely backtrack each time. Then Anthony Richardson goes off to the Falcons. Quentin. Then Christian Gonzalez, the top corner, goes off. Joey Porter right behind him. And then our second tackle. So far, the guy that I think is the best tackle in the draft that I've been talking about really being a fit in Kansas City has not gone off the board. We're at 12. Broderick Jones is still there. Jets are on the clock. Now, the sweet spot's going to be around Washington. So let's try a scenario with Washington. Their pick's coming up. Let me see if I can find it here. Washington Commanders at 16. Now, I'll give you 31 and I'll give you 95. They're not going to budge. If I have to give you 167, I can do that. They're still not going to budge. They're not coming off that pick. That's pretty evident to me. So then what happens? Could we go to the Lions at 18? They do have a bunch of picks, and they've already made a selection here. They're not really interested in picking up picks. And I'd have to give up a whole boatload to get anything done there. Now, what else would you guys like to see? Oh, I can change the speed still after I start it? No, see, I have to reload the whole draft if I do that. I will try to do this if that's what you're talking about, and we'll see if that works. Okay. We'll take it down to the slowest and see what happens. So let's just resume the draft. Okay, I see what's happening here. I like that. Brian Branch goes. Lucas Van Ness. Miles Murphy. So right here, do we want to make an offer for this right now as they're on the clock? Thank you for pointing that out. Who was that? Kudos to you. First Jackson, and then whoever told me that it's in the upper left, not the upper right where I was looking. I appreciate that. Sugary. Very much appreciated. Let's see if we can get them to budge on an offer yet. If we give them a third, if we give them a third and a fifth. Nope. They're not moving. They got a guy. And I'm confident it's probably not a tackle. So let's see what they do. And I was wrong. That was the perfect place to take Broderick Jones. That's what I was aiming to do, and clearly my gamble did not pay off in this scenario. So the fact is I couldn't give up more than a first and a third and a fifth. That's a ton to go up to 14. But we missed our guy, and so now it's the next thought. I'm going to speed it back up a little bit, but just not all the way, and we'll see how this goes and how this looks. Okay, that's ticking along. Bijan goes, JSN goes, Dalton, Kaladji, I think that's crazy. Witherspoon, Mayer, Addison, then Deonte Banks, Brian Brisset goes, Drew Sanders, Osiris Torrance. He might not be the top guard any longer, I got to say. Here's the problem. Anton just went. So we're dwindling here. Antonio Johnson is a decent safety. I think that might be high for him. But the Eagles, let's see what they do here. And they end up going Cam Smith. So now we're on the board. I had 3 corners go off the board. We still have a couple of options. Now, I see what you guys are going to like here, right? Nolan Smith is an explosive player, a guy that I actually really like quite a bit. I really, really do like Nolan Smith. But Nolan Smith would have been better in the 3-4 Justin Houston era defense than he would in this one. He can line up with his hand in the dirt. I like the way he comes off the ball. He has a tendency to duck blocks more than destroy them physically. He does have decent power. He does have decent moves. I just don't think Spags is going to dig him. So I don't think that this is necessarily what happens here. So I'm not going to go for Nolan Smith just because I don't think the fit is something that they would actually do. What do we have elsewise? We have Zay Flowers, and I know folks are going to be high on him. I know Josh Downs is going to be a popular guy as well. I just get to the point where I can't knowingly pass on what is a thinner edge class to go get another wide receiver when we have options later. We do have a trade offer, and that's the Bucs wanting to go back to 50. Well, where were you at 19 there, folks? Not very happy with that, so I'm going to ignore them. And I am on the clock. I know that. How do I get back there? Oh, that's interesting. Oh, right here. Okay, got it. So let's go by position. Let's take a look at the offensive tackle market. Dewan is still there. Darnell is probably my choice here if I have to go offensive tackle. Darnell played on the left side 2 years ago. He played on the right side this last season. I think he still has the feet to play left. So if Broderick goes, if Paris goes, and then Anton goes, Darnell's the next choice. And I actually have Darnell and Anton absolutely tied on film grades on my board right now. So that's going to be the tough part. So, okay, we have the land there. Jalen Duncan is a very athletic kid. Cody Mock, I think, is a guard. And Blake Freeland is a very athletic kid too. None of them have the power to really hold up with Darnell Wright. So right there, I would say if we have to pick that position, that's the way we're going. Out here at edge, a little bit different. Undersized rusher in Nolan Smith, undersized rusher in Will McDonald. Well, I guess evidently I have to select multiples and take the OTs off. Then you have Felix. And I know there's a lot of UK Staters out there that would like to take him. It's a little rich for my blood here, but it's not terribly rich. I could see it. I think BJ Ojulari is a better player right now. Now, I know everybody's going to say Tommy's here. I've been talking a lot about Tommy. I think Tommy ends up going in the second, kind of like they have him here at 40. I think it's a little too early for him as well. So this is when I'm going to put it to you guys in the chat. Let's narrow it down. Do we want Felix Ndwike-Uzomah from K-State, the edge rusher that is raw, but has enough power to play and set the edge, and I think coming off of a 9 tech is going to be great. And Avery, I agree with you. I think Bergeron's going to get there. It's just the arm length that makes me a little bit nervous. And I'm sorry I didn't have this all the way blown up, but let's get there. So if Felix, I'm going to narrow it down to 2 choices. You guys are going to vote, and we're going to make the selection. Felix Ndwike-Uzomah from K-State or Darnell Wright, offensive tackle from Tennessee. Vote now. We'll give it a couple seconds, and then the majority will have it, and we will go from there. We're going off of fit, and we're going off of my board, not necessarily the board that is produced by PFF. So it looks like right now we got Wright, Darnell, Wright. I don't see a vote for Felix. Wright. Okay, looks like overwhelmingly we are going Darnell Wright. And I think that is probably a very smart decision. Now, to just bring light to Avery's comment, Matthew Bergeron, he's here. I do have him currently behind Darnell Wright and Anton Harrison, but he's a guy that can play left and that I do like. Should we get in a tough position where the Chiefs either go edge first or they miss out on everybody and have to come back? So, majority has it. We're taking Darnell Wright here, and we're going to roll with our selection. Right after that comes Nolan Smith, and it's kind of going chalk here by the rest of the ratings. Excuse me, I'm going to get a drink real quick as we watch this tick through. Let me know if this is going at a better speed and you guys are happy with this as we watch this kind of go through. Gibbs goes, Ojulari goes, Avila goes, the interior guy, and John Michael Schmitz. There goes Felix at 55. Let's keep that in mind. Bergeron goes right behind him. So we wouldn't have gotten either of those guys had we waited. So Jalen Duncan goes just before our pick with Julius Brents, another K-Stater, getting out there at 59. I like that. I don't like seeing it go to the Bills, but I like that. Booty went as well and leaves us here back again. We've multiple trade offers. Pittsburgh Steelers want us to go back to 80. That's ridiculous. We're not doing that. Let's see. Do we have another one? Okay, Minnesota Vikings want to give us 87 for 63. Nobody even close. So I'm going to say negative on all the draft offers. You guys see any reason to do that? Let me know. And Michael Reed, just so you guys know, I'm not initiating trades in this scenario. I'm letting the draft come to me right now, or come to us is basically what I'm saying. Probably next week, we'll go initiate some trades. We'll go to the spots that we want to go to, I think. So Washington went to Pitt. Yes, I believe that was it. Let me double check. Darnell went, yes, to Pittsburgh, which, hey, that's a pretty decent fit. Let's see. Nope. Okay, you guys are all good on that. All right, so now we look at the board. We're obviously not going Tanner McKee, although I like Tanner McKee, and I think he could be a second round. He'll definitely be a day 2 guy in my opinion, but he could be a second round guy, not for the Chiefs, and that's okay. So Tank Dell is there. I think Tank Dell is maybe not even a top 100 pick. There are serious questions, like there are with all guys his size, and I could see him playing a role, but honestly, it's a role that you got Sky in there. If McCole came back, he's going to run him out of the slot constantly. Kadarius can line up outside, yes, but he's also got to play inside. So I'm not putting somebody inside that's a slot-only guy on my system, and that's kind of what I think Tank Dell is. So then you get down to Sam Laporta. He could be a fit. I love Charbonnet's running style, but I'm not taking a running back here. This is really high for Eli Ricks. I'm not sure what exactly they're thinking. You guys know how I feel about A.T. Perry. I won't force that down your throats tonight. Moro Jomo is a guy that I like quite a bit. Hendon Hooker is the underrated quarterback in this class, and I think he deserves to go a hell of a lot higher than 91. I will tell you that. So let's go back. Knowing that we got Darnell, let's take a look at the edge class and see where we're at for our biggest needs. Andre Carter is not a top 100 pick. That's just not even close. So I think what happens is he falls well away. I think Derek Hall is probably in his spot above him. Mike Morris is likely up there as well. Yaya deserves to be higher in 129th. I'm just going to tell you all that. And then there's my guy, Lonnie. I know a lot of folks that still like Dylan Horton. I just don't feel like he showed much at the combine. And I'm getting a lot of info that it's not really his thing. Now, Carl Brooks is a tweener, and I see you guys. Let's see, Avery, I'm not sure who you were talking about. Carl Brooks is a tweener, and I think it's difficult to project him into playing a role that the Chiefs like. He's super versatile, so there is that plus, and Spags does love that. But I just don't know that it's a fit that I can wrap my head around. So let's see. Laporta's an interesting name. Sidney Brown is here. A lot of folks are up and down on Hall. So I'm not sure about the transition. I'm a little concerned about it, I got to tell you. But he certainly is a player. Weatherspoon's the best guy on their defense. I don't think that that's very confusing. But Brown's decent. Let's go back and look at the defensive interior, guys, because that's where I think the next money can be made. Because you have Morrow, you have Coburn, his teammate, you have Jervon. I had hoped that Tommy would still be around, but evidently that's not the way that it's going to be. What else y'all want to see? Edges, linebackers, special teams dudes. The tight ends that we have right here, we're getting a little light. I was hoping to come back in the 3rd round, but maybe you all need to do this. Maybe we do need to go up. And by the way, underrated tight end right here in Davis Allen, sorry. Really think he's underrated. Gary, I like Hendon Hooker. I think he's a high floor guy. I don't know if his ceiling's much bigger, but he can run an NFL offense right now today. He's in my top 5, and people are going to be surprised when I put that out, just exactly where he is. Derek Hall, I think he is a good pick, and I think we have to keep our needs in mind. So let's make Derek Hall one of the options here. Cheers to you, Zez. Appreciate you. Thanks for the support, buddy. We do our best around here, as does Cole. We all try to work it out and give you the best coverage that we all can. So let's make Derek Hall one of them. And again, we know that we're bucking PFF's board. We're going to go with our board. And for those of you who aren't subbed to NFL 33 yet, consider going and signing up over there. You'll get my draft board. And if you're one of the paid subscriptions, you get all of the draft information, advanced metrics, our film grades, all kinds of stuff is going to come out there. We have a great plan this offseason, and I'm looking forward to it. My voice is starting to wane, so I'm going to have to start speeding it up here, folks. So we were going to look at Derek Hall, our Auburn guy, and then let's give ourselves another option. Is it Sidney Brown? Is that what you guys think? I think that's a little short-sighted myself, but let's go with Laporta. Let's go Derek Hall or Sam Laporta. You all tell me in the chat right now, Sam or Derek. That's what I want to know. What's your opinion? You guys are about to make this pick. I like the idea of looking to double dip at tackle. I don't think there's a whole much to double dip at. Let's see here. Cody's still there. Freeland would be a developmental guy. I do like Braden Daniels, but I do think he's probably more of an inside guy. I like Warren McClendon as a developmental tackle as well. I could see taking him on day 3, along with Wanya Morris. They are the other guys in their offenses. So it looks like we have Hall, the best fullback. I love you, Scotty. That's awesome. Derek, Hall, Derek, CB corner. Professor, I'm not sure that we need corner right now. And I do think the safety class is a little bit thin. So I would probably stay away from that for now. But yeah, Scotty, great comment. Okay, last call. Everybody who wants Hall or Laporta, what do you got? And we will make this selection. And then we'll start to speed it up because I know I'm long-winded. I apologize, folks. It looks like there's another Laporta. It says you can't go twice. Come on. Derek. Okay, I think Hall. Okay, good job. I do think that it's going to be Hall by the majority. So we're going to go with that. We're going to take Derek Hall. We're going to put him on our roster. And we're going to see what happens here. Laporta went right after him. Sidney Brown, guys that we were talking about here. Chris Smith, I think he's underrated. He ran a slow time at the combine. But I do like Chris Smith as a day 3 guy. Hendon Hooker just went there. He, like I said, he's a guy who can walk into an NFL offense and run it today. I have faith in him in his transition. My guy A.T. Perry went. I'm a little disappointed about that. Thought he'd be available here for us in the 3rd. I like 2 receivers in the 3rd round in particular that I'm kind of keen on. Let's see. Overshawn went. Tank Bigsby went. Kyu Blu-Kelly's a corner that I like. Let's see. DJ Turner. You like him too. Marvin Mims went. So A.T. Perry and Cedric Tillman were the 2 receivers that I like in the 3rd. They both went at 82 and 85. Byron Young was another edge we could have looked at. You like Dez? You like Michael Wilson, huh? Okay. I like what he does as well. And I like his teammate Higgins. I think he could be the next Jody Fortson. So we're going to keep an eye on him too. Michael Wilson is definitely a possibility. Moro Jomo, I have said in the past that I do like him inside. KJ Henry is an older prospect, but he's an underrated edge that has a lot of upside left to go, I think. It's just that you're probably not going to get a second contract out of him. And then here comes the guy that I've kind of been thinking is a good fit for a backup to Travis Kelce if Jody's not going to make it back or if they don't think he's going to mature. I like Luke Schoonmaker. I really like the way that he comes off the ball. He's a little bit more of a Y than Travis is, but he's got enough of Travis's quirks, body size, and the way that he moves. I like the fit. I could see going Schoonmaker there. Schoonmaker, sorry, I always put the E in there for some reason. There's my guy Skinner. Jacorian Bennett, super fast corner. Love adding speed if we can anywhere and everywhere. And then come a couple of guys we're gonna have to talk about coming up. So I think I like Trey Palmer too, and I love Yaya. Yaya is going to be a sleeper of mine. So it's going to come down. Let's vote here. Schoonmaker, Wilson. Do we have anybody else excited about any of the defensive players? Are we happy at edge and tackle? Like Schoonmaker's name, yeah. Hey, Parker Washington. Yeah, I do like what Parker does too. Anybody who can help us, I'm all for it, Cole. I like your thinking there, buddy. I do like that a lot. Do either Watson or Williams have safety ability? That's a great question. And unfortunately, I haven't seen either of them play safety, but I will say this. Watson in particular, he's comfortable in man. I don't know zone being his thing, but he's made some progress. I think Williams is the same way. Williams is a man guy all day long. Can you put him into a zone? You might be able to. But for right now, I think I'm keeping them where they are. So it looks like we got some tight end things. We got some DT recommendations here. Let's go wide receiver Michael Wilson or that's a tough one. Okay, so guys that I like. Michael Wilson, Moro Ojomo at defensive tackle, interior rusher from Texas, or Schoonmaker, the tight end from Michigan. Let me know what you guys say. Put your vote in the chat, and we'll get her done. Hope they get Deuce from K-State as the seventh round UDFA. I'm pulling for him. He's an energy guy too. You're absolutely right, and I'm totally with you, Doug. I like Deuce a lot. I just can't put a real high pick on him because you just don't know if he can hold up. But I agree with you completely. I like his game a lot. A lot of Schoonmaker here. Schoon. A couple of Ajomos. Okay. Schoonmaker's in the lead right now. Let's keep it going. Luke. There's a Wilson. There's the Michigan tight end. There's another Wilson. Jomo. I like the way you're thinking there, Avery. Schoon. Jaden Reed. I'm not huge on Jaden Reed. I think he could probably do it, but I think I would take Wilson over him. I gotta be honest. He was up here towards the top, right? Okay. It looks like Schoonmaker is winning this vote hands down. So we're going to take Luke Schoonmaker and give Travis Kelce a new guy in the tight end room to try to get to know and get used to. So while it's ticking down, I'll let you guys watch it and I'll answer some questions. How we like that? Let's get in here. So welcome, Tatum. Glad that you did make it. Steve, in fact, let me take myself off so you guys can still watch the ticker. With the Chiefs look at restricted free agent offensive tackles in Green Bay's Nidelbauer, and then add a left tackle in the draft. I barely remember Nidelbauer. I can't remember. I don't believe I had a draftable grade on him in the first place. So I do not think that that's going to be an option coming out of Green Bay specifically. But they could look for what I think is probably more applicable right tackles in free agency and come back at the left tackle in the draft. So next week for sure, I think we're going to do a trade draft next week on Sunday night, and it's going to be all in on going to get our tackle. We'll do that together. We'll vote on who that tackle has to be. You guys know how I feel, but I want to know how you feel, and we'll do that next week. And if that does work out that way, then, Steve, we'll talk about some more options. Scott, if each picks blank in this year's draft, he's immune to being called McReach. I mean, a perennial Pro Bowler. That's really the only option here, right? I mean, multiple all-pro guy, and he is immune. There's always going to be a little bit of people that are going to complain about Veach, but I don't think that that's going to be a big group. So, all right, let's see what we have here. We had Byron Young go. Michael Wilson did go in this round. Jatavius Martin went. That's an interesting one. Poe went. Jaden Reed, you did get your guy gone there. My guy Skinner went. And old Zach Harrison went. I'm not sure about Zach Harrison's transition to the league. I'm a little iffy on him coming up. So where does that put us? Morrow is still on the board, as is KJ Henry. Deuce is there. We'll talk about him late if we get a chance for it. Look like we have some edge and D-line options here. I kind of like that. Fehoko, I have not done film on yet. If somebody has a good Fehoko take, please let me know, okay? I would like to see it. I agree with you, Sugary. Okay, sounds like Brian's in on that too. All right, I think that was pretty easy. We don't even need to vote, right? Let's go, Jomo, and get him on this roster and feel pretty dang good about it. Bada boom. Good decision making here, folks. I like the way you're going. Henry Toa goes. Brandon Joseph's a safety that I do like, and I think the fourth is about the right range for him. So we can remember that for later. And so 10 picks later we're on the board. Mekhi Garner did go. I did like him. Now, I think you guys were looking at Wilson before Wilson went. So now we're back into, KJ's still here. Again, developmental guy. Yasir Abdullah is more of a speed rusher, not so much a power dude, but he's there. Then you get into the value, and Roschon Johnson is here. And maybe we'll just make this an all-Texas draft. I don't know what's going to go on here. But then my guy Yaya is here, and I like Yaya Diaby. Just scratching the surface, like I said. He's not there yet, but he is definitely an interesting dude to go look at. It doesn't look like we're hitting what I thought would be the thickness of the wide receiver group in this draft. Let's go take a look at them specifically and see who's on our board. Cropper's here, out from Fresno, catching passes from Haener. I do like what he does. Little on the thin side for me. And Zez, yeah, I do think that Yaya could be there in the fifth. Let's see what happens. I do like Ronnie Bell. Charlie Jones, I get a lot of comments on. I just don't see it as much. You know what I mean? I like Ronnie Bell. I could even see Bobo. I think Bobo could end up being, the big slot that they originally wanted Watson to be, but he doesn't have Watson's speed, so it's not quite a 1-to-1. Bryce Ford Wheaton, man, he drops too many passes. It just bugs me. I can't get past it. I got to tell you, I have a bit of a block on him this year. There's a couple other guys. I know Copeland's super fast. That's cool. Karis Jackson is super fast. I know a lot of staters want Knowles on there. I'm really interested. I'm not sure if he's going to get drafted or not. Same thing with my guy Tinsley. Tinsley was epic at Western Kentucky. Made the transition. I would probably look at him as a 7th or a UDFA. So let's come back on that. So you guys are looking at Yaya. You're looking at Bryce Ford Wheaton. Let's see, David Allen. We just took a tight end. I ain't taking 2 in one draft. I'll tell you that. So we're going to Kaibox that. Let's see. I don't know if Landers went. I didn't see him. Let me take a quick look. Nope, Landers is still available, and he will be for quite a while, it looks like. Let's see. I think we can try to ride it out and see if we can get Yaya in the 5th, right? We're what? We're coming up. Where's our 5th round pick? I can't remember. It's 167. So it's not a full round. It's close, but I guess it is a full round actually. Never mind. With the comp picks, I forgot about those. So we might take a chance at losing him there. But it looks like you guys are kind of on it. Everybody's into another DT or edge. Henry okay, let's do it this way. Let's just get it over with. KJ Henry or Yaya Diaby. Which are you guys more comfortable with right now? Pick one, put it in the chat. We'll come back and we'll talk about the next pick at a position that I know everybody loves and we still have some options at. And you guys know where I'm going to go, I'm pretty sure. Okay, looks like it's 1 KJ. Yaya. I like saying that. Remember when back in the old days when I did this solo and I did the, let's see, how did we do that? I did the do-do-do-do-do-do's. Yeah. Yaya makes me think of doing that again. So I like that, Tatum. Let me hide that so you guys can see the full board. Okay, it's a lot of Yaya, a couple Henrys. Yaya's the choice. We're going to go here. And we'll take Yaya Diaby. We'll call it good. And then we're going to come back. If I can find him, where to go. Well, should be easy to search him, huh? All right. Yaya's on board. We'll come back, and then we'll see what I think is going to be the sweet spot. In the 5th round, we'll see what comes down. Backup tackles, Coburn, Braden Daniels goes here. Kenny McIntosh went off the board. That was one of the targets I had for the running back spot. It's right here in the 5th round. I think he might actually go in the 4th, but somewhere around here is where that's going to go. So that's unfortunate. He was going to be one of the ABs. KJ Henry did go before our next pick. So we had that kind of measured right against what they think is going to happen here at PFF. Warren McClendon didn't go. And I do think Warren is an option for the Chiefs in this area as a backup tackle, a developmental tackle that you want to look at. I like that. Ali Gay went just before we came on the board. And so that does give us a couple of interesting options. Kobe Turner's another inside defender. I do like him, but I think we're past that now. Couple of really interesting, the most athletic tight end at the combine was not Luke Musgrave. It was Zach Kuntz. And I haven't gotten his film yet. So I am very, very eager to see that. When I do, maybe that will change our thinking. But as we look down here, we get into Mekhi Blackman, who I think does still have potential at corner. And Eric Gray starting to show. Did Roschon go as well? Let's take a look at that. Because this is the area where I'm where I'm good with running backs. And it looks like he did. So we had both the running backs that I was going to AB you guys with go off the board, and that was Roschon Johnson from Texas, Kenny McIntosh from Georgia. Now, I do still like Chris Rodriguez, and here in the 5th, I'm perfectly comfortable with that. But, at the end of the day, we got to figure out what we're trying to do. According to PFF, we've accomplished our goals, but we're not done. So let's take a look. You guys want to go wide receiver here? Do you want to see what's here pass catcher wise, or do we want to go back to interior offensive line? I don't think we need much there. So I guess I'll hold off of that. One of my dev backup tackles is gone. Savadiri is there. Earl Bostic is one of the 2 KU prospects for you Jayhawks out there. I'm guessing Knowles and Deuce are both available. K-State fans there. Keaton Mitchell. Let's see. Cole, if Deuce does get drafted, I'm expecting it'll be 6th or 7th. I think he probably will be a UDFA when it all comes down to it. Let's see. What are you guys seeing? Sell me on Chris Rodriguez. Hard runner, low to the ground, can augment what Pacheco does, but he's not as explosive. So Deuce went in the 4th round, says? Did I miss that? Get out. Did he really? You're absolutely right. Okay. So apologies. Deuce went. Thank you, Zez. I appreciate you for putting that out there because I totally missed it. And kudos to him. Dang. I don't think that actually happens. I think the league is kind of like really pessimistic about size at the running back spot. I just got to be honest with you. I'd like to be wrong, but I don't think they'll go for it. So let's see. Cropper's still out here, a wide receiver we talked about. Yasir Abdullah's still out here. Now we've addressed a lot of the defense. Davis Allen's still out here. Keaton Mitchell is a guy folks like at the halfback spot. I haven't watched him yet either, so I'm still a little bit open-minded on him for sure. Then we get into Jalen Redmond, another interior guy. We could look at backup quarterback at this point. Ventrell Miller's a linebacker that I do like. You add to that group. Lonnie Phelps is still here. Jayhawk at pass rusher. Clayton Tune is a guy that I think could be a backup to Patrick Mahomes pretty easily. Let's see. Deuce. Dorian Williams. Did I miss him? Oh, yep. Dorian's right there. Oh, yeah. The Tulane guy. Yeah, he can do a little bit of everything. He'd definitely be a special teamer here. And I mean, we're down here in what, the 5th round? 6th round? Did we get to the 6th already? Good Lord. No, we're still in the 5th. Okay. I haven't lost my mind yet. I mean, special teams is a big consideration down here. So Avery says go with Moreno Cropper, Jalen, and I can get down with that too. I still like Ronnie Bell. I got to tell you guys that too. So let's do this. Let's look at backup quarterback. Aiden O'Connell, Stetson Bennett, Clayton Tune. I do like him. DTR is out here. I don't think, quite honestly, that Max Duggan and Stetson Bennett are that dissimilar in terms of the way they get drafted. So that's what I'm thinking. So let's go with best available here fit-wise, I think, is Clayton Tune to Mahomes. So let's go Tune versus Let's see. A weapon. Somebody who can run. Let's get Jalen Moreno Cropper. You want the wide receiver Moreno Cropper, or do you want the backup quarterback Clayton Tune? Vote in the chat and let's see what we come up with. And I will answer a question or two while you all are doing that. So Doug asked, Ryan, a buddy of mine is a Razorback college fan. I like that. He said to check out the wide receiver Matt Landers. He's 6'4". Yeah, he does have the speed. As I remember, he has a pretty interesting drop habit too. But I will definitely have a look at him more. He's a day 3 guy in all estimations that I've seen, and I haven't done his film yet. But you said you like him as a 4th as well too. I'll definitely have a look. Dan's done more by wide receivers than I have already. So Dan may have already watched him. We'll just we'll get back with Dan and see what he thinks. At some point this offseason, could you do a mock where you make or trade for a vet like D-Hop or Tunsil or Cup? Yes, I can definitely do that, B. I think, honestly, I think this one is a little bit tougher, the PFF machine, but I do think TDN's wrapping up. I've been in their beta program. They're wrapping up their mock machine, this year's version of it. I think they'll be able to do player trades in that a little bit easier. Jones extension clears room for a Tunsil trade. Yeah, it definitely does. They're willing to back up the Brinks truck for Trent Williams. Why not this guy? It's the draft capital piece because you got to trade for it. It's not just the compensation to the player. It's compensation to the other team. That's the only holdup on it, Spanner. All right. We got a couple of stack questions still, but I'm going to go back for your thoughts. Moreno Cropper, Jalen, Cropper. Got a tune in there. Cropper, Jalen, JMC. Okay, I guess it's Cropper all the way around. So giving Patrick another weapon. Jalen Moreno Cropper is to the Kansas City Chiefs. We got 4 picks left. We're going to get some things done. O'Shawn Mathis went. Kobe Turner did go. Cameron Letu, if we hadn't already gone tight end, I think Cameron Letu is very underrated. I think he's a guy that can move the chains and be that next tight end as well. Like him, I love Davis Allen, and I like Schoonmaker that we got. So, like, we're good there. But I just wanted to point out some of the other guys that I do like. Let's see. Baldonado went. Wow. I didn't expect that. Oh, sorry to get tired on y'all there. Let me take the comment down. What are y'all seeing that you like here? Yasir Abdullah is still out there. He could still be an X factor kind of guy. Zach Kuntz is still out there. Davis is still out there. There's a lot still available. Just trying to see if somebody stands out to me. You guys tell me what you see. I'm always for bringing in a Jayhawk, by the way. We could go back to Clayton Tune like we were talking about a little bit more. Bell ran well at the combine. I agree with you there. We love your dashed last names. Awesome. Backup quarterback. Yasser, Keaton Mitchell from Avery. Okay, so let's do this. Quarterback or running back? Let's start there. Vote in the chat. We won't go back to receiver here for a while because we got our guy. So backup QB or go back for a running back and try to build out that room behind Isaiah Pacheco. Interested to see what you guys think. I'm going to grab another. Well, no, Siri, I'm not talking to you. Thank you for that. Go away. You love it when Siri just kind of takes over your conversation, right? Yeah, kind of a pain, but what are you going to do? Let's see. Tatum said, I heard the Chiefs had a top 30 visit from Edge BJ Thompson of Stephen F. Austin. What do you think about him? I've been trying to find film of Stephen F. Austin for a little bit because I've heard 3 people that I trust tell me that I need to see him before I complete my rankings at Edge. I just haven't been able to do it yet. So I did find a highlight reel, but I hate to watch highlights as my only reference to him. So I'm going to keep digging. And when I find it, I will get back to you on what he looks like. But I love the concept of a small school guy that's hungry. So let's do it. Let's see here. Second and the 24 second for Tunsil. 63. Any chance to trade a possibility? Yeah. I mean, they'd want a first as well. I would be pushing that. 2 2s. It's a possibility. It's been a thing for a while. If you're not willing to give up the ones, they can maybe do that for you. I don't know if they'll get it done or not. Seriously, Siri, shut up. I'm done with you. Let's see. Night Hunter, I wish I was that smart. I'm putting. It's time to upgrade the laptop, so I'm putting it together, and I reinstalled the newest software for the OS, and it popped on there. I'm like, all right, somebody will like that, but I'll get there. I'll get it off of there again. I have not heard anything new on the Orlando Brown front. I do think that he tests the waters. I'm not sure he finds what he wants. So let's see. Yeah, went a long time ago. We have you, sir, Abdullah. Yes, I know we were talking about him before, but again, vote. Let's go running back or backup quarterback. Let's figure that out because we did already get a wide receiver. I'm not sure why it's still listing that for us. That's kind of silly to tell you the truth. And yeah, my voice is crashing here, folks. So we're going to take a look at corner as well. I like Blackman at this point in the draft. I think Valentine's worth a draft pick at this point in the draft. Jay Ward, I could get down with trying to bring him in too. I haven't watched Anthony Johnson yet. He's on my list. So let's go to safety now. And we'll take the corner off. Let's see. Anybody look like a grade that I like? Tyreek Jones, I'd give him the benefit of the doubt and bring him, see if he can make the team. Christian, I do like Merriweather. Okay. So there's an option there. It's safety. Anybody stand out there that you guys got to have? A lot of running back votes in here. Okay, so let's go back to running backs. And it's Keaton Mitchell. It's Eric Gray. I do like his game as well. Chris Rodriguez, again, not game-breaking speed, but a low runner that I think could complement but not really augment what Pacheco does. So there's that. There's Travis Dye. I mean, if you want fast and wiry, that's him. Evan Hull, he evidently only scores touchdowns like he did at the actual combine. I like that. My vote here would probably be either Keaton Mitchell or Eric Gray. So why don't we do that? I see Dylan already voted for Keaton Mitchell. Let's see here. A or B, Keaton Mitchell, East Carolina, or Eric Gray, Oklahoma. Go for the chat and we'll make this pick. And I'll get back to the last couple of questions that I had stacked up. One was from Night Hunter. Of the media phase in the draft, do you see any that possibly get drafted day one and not work out? I mean, let's be real. There's a lot of guessing in this particular draft. I do think that there's a couple of things. If Lucas Van Ness doesn't find the right team, he's enough of a tweener, I think, that he could be slowed in his progress. I do feel like that. Who else? I like Cam Smith's game. I think it's really iffy if he goes in the first. If he does, he might have a team that gets disappointed. Then maybe the Chiefs get a chance to pick him up there. Who else? I'll go back and look at our first round here real quick. Excuse me. Let's see. Anybody that stood out? I think Kalijah Kancey, I hope that he works out. If he goes in the first, I think that's a risk. Drew Sanders, do like his game. Not exactly a plug and play, like he's going to be a home run all pro. You know what I mean? So back to the chat. And it looks like you guys went Gray, Mitchell, Gray, Mitchell, Gray, Mitchell, Gray, Mitchell, Gray, Mitchell, 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 Gray, 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 Mitchell, Gray. Wow, we are split like right down the middle. Dang. Okay. Since I don't have a good way to break this tie, I'm going to ask one person. And Miss Holly, if you are in the chat, tell me what your preference is, Keaton Mitchell or Eric Gray, and you will make this selection. Not sold on tight end Myers. I like that comment. Thank you, Night Hunter. Appreciate you. Okay, Gray it is. Miss Holly made this selection, and I'll just start doing this. We'll start randomly picking some of our folks in here, and we'll make some selections as they go on. I'm gonna speed this up a little bit because it's really about who's left when we're next on the clock, which is at 2:16. In reality, it's actually 2:17, but that's as close as I could get it with the trade scenarios and all that kind of stuff. So as we come back on the clock here, late in the sixth, we're looking. Clayton Tune is still out here. So I do like that possibility. Developmental edge rusher Income is still out here. I thought he made some sparks at the Senior Bowl, and I think he looks like an athlete. I like Jake Bobo in his future. I do think he can make something in this league. Let's see. D. Winters is an underrated linebacker. I think he could definitely play special teams for you, as could Puka Nacua, as could Elijah Higgins. Higgins, again, is the guy I was talking about, maybe moving a tight end as well. I do like that. Who else stands out? Darius Davis, super speed and a return option there. Saldiveri, I like that. Brandon, I wasn't very big on Ojukwu. I always do that. Any just little diamonds out here in the rough. Y'all shout if you see something that you like, and we'll keep that in mind. Anthony Bradford. Anthony Bradford is a guard the Chiefs like. He's versatile. He's long. He can play multiple positions, and I do think he's somebody we should have on our radar. I'm just pointing that out. I'm not saying take him here, but he is a dude. I do like it, and you can see if you take PFF grades, I take them with a big grain of salt, but you can see progression at least, and I do like that. So let's see. What do you guys think? Bobo interest. Tune. Okay. Anybody but Ethan Horton. Okay. All right. Let me make an executive decision on this one just for the sake of getting us through this, because we have back-to-back picks here in a second. We're going to take Clayton Tune because I do like the fit as the backup quarterback. So there we go. Let's see what happens next. Had a Puka in here, had a Bobo as well. I like that. Maybe we will go back and look at the safety. Okay. So we're on the clock. We have back-to-back picks here. BJ Thompson did just go, Tatum. Great job bringing him up. I will definitely get back to him. Matt Landers went. Let's see. Income did go, as did Saldiveri. Bobo went. Darius went. Elijah Higgins went. D. Winters went. We just named a bunch of dudes that just went off the board. So, okay, let's take a look here. Carlton Marshall. Okay, not huge, but that's okay. Alex Austin. Woodley Vincent. Estes Die. Okay, we're going to start looking by positions. You guys, what do you got? No more grays. I like it. Okay, that's fair. I might have gotten a little carried away with the grays, to tell you the truth. Always want some speed. Always want options for Patrick. Could look at Jacob Copeland, I think. Carius Jackson, Malik Knowles, Mitchell Tinsley. I like Tinsley. I'm okay if they're all UDFAs, though. I don't need to go draft them if they're that low. So let's take the wide receivers off. Let's go back and look at tackles. Any cleanup late tackles that we want just to add to the fodder. I, as Jayhawk, would love to see Earl Bostic. That's an option here with the last two picks. Let's see. Take that off, and we'll get back to CBs. Jay Ward, I mentioned earlier. Let's see. Anybody else? He's about the only guy that stands out to me at corner right now. Whoop. The mouse is speedier than I am. At safety, we come back. Tyreek Jones, we talked about him. Finley, there's Kayvon Merriweather. I know a couple people were asking about him. Do we want to go there? I think it's kind of down to maybe Merriweather. And then our last of the developmental edges. So Merriweather's one of our options. Let's do that. Let's see who's left at edge. Beal, speed rusher out of Georgia. I do like his game. Very thin pickings there. So we have backup tackles. Income is gone, I believe. Yes. So I would say Beal is a guy that has a pedigree at least. Yeah, Income is gone. Let's see. Ikenna. You guys like Ikenna? Okay. I'm here for the group think here. I have not watched Rice this year, I'll tell you that. So, okay. Got a Ward, got an Ikenna vote. Let me know what y'all think. Yeah, At this point in the draft, VFX, versatility is how you get drafted. It is not necessarily being a specialist. If you were a specialist, you would already be long gone by now. So it was Merriweather was one of our options, right? I do like Kayvon. Hill from Pitt. So let's do this. Well, let's go safety. Let's add to that group, help out a young group with Brian Cook in it. Let's go either Brandon Hill or Kayvon Merriweather. Vote in the chat and let's see what you guys like better. I am actually very interested to see, to tell you the truth. Again, if you all want to support the channel, hit the super chat, grab some gear in the RGR store. You can get subbed over at NFL 33, where Dan and I and the rest of our crew are putting out draft content weekly that you want to see. Metrics will come out, be a discount over there for the Athletic Matrix, as well as you guys have an RGR discount. You always do everything Rogue APC. So Kayvon, okay, we're about split. Hill, Merriweather, Hill. All right, Hill's taking the lead here. Kayvon, Merriweather, Hill. Okay, still pretty even here, folks. A lot of Merriweather coming right there. Okay, Merriweather takes a slight lead. Keep on voting. Who do you like? Who do you want to see? Are you happy with safety? Another couple Merriweathers. Yeah, it looks like he's taking the lead. There's another Hill, though. If you guys would hit the like button right now, that would very much help me too. Thank you, Mark Hernandez, for remembering that I tend to forget that sometimes. Another Merriweather. Okay, looks like Merriweather's taking the lead. Last call for Hills and Merriweather's. Let's pick one. Gary's a Merriweather too. There's a Hill and a Merriweather. You guys aren't helping me here. Let's get a majority. Merriweather's still by a stretch. Merriweather. Brandon Hill. Almost here. Going once, going twice. It is Merriweather. Boom, on the board. And we're right back with the next pick. We're not going to go back-to-back safeties. But now it truly is best player available. And just looking down this list, a lot of safeties out there. Backup quarterbacks, running backs. Some of those developmental tight ends are still here. The guard that I know the Chiefs have already spoken to and they do have interest in Anthony Bradford. Running back Evan Hull, I think they like him as well. Beal, the developmental edge rusher. Earl Bostic, tackle from Kansas. Gotta love that. Let's see. Antoine Green, a lot of people think that he might have a chance to make a roster in the NFL. I like that. Do. There, we got it done, guys. I like that. Yep, I am hitting the wall here, folks. So we're going to wrap it up. Make an argument in the chat. Tell me what to do. We already grabbed a backup QB, Clayton Tune. We have him on board, so I think we're good there. Oh, my super sleeper is Travis Vokalek at tight end, by the way. I think you guys might get him. Okay, Doug's in on a Jayhawk. Bradford. Is an interior guy, though. If we're going to go lineman, we're going to go tackle. There's Jayhawk available. Special teams, yeah, I mean, we could do that. Do we like Tavian Thomas? I haven't watched Tyon Evans, to tell you the truth. Try to see where we're at running back as well. Great spot for running back. Travis Dye's out here. Evan Hull's out here. Sir Roderick Thompson's out here. Anything from that, do anything for you. Bradford. Another vote for Bradford. Talk to me, folks. You guys are liking the interior lineman thing, huh? I mean, he does have long arms. Maybe they could turn him into a tackle eventually. There's a Bostic vote. I like that. What else we got? Double dip at tight end. What's left at tight end? My guy Vokalek's there, but Braden Willis, Barker, My guy Vokalek, I like him. He's not the biggest, he's not the fastest, he's not the strongest, but I like him. Let's look. Developmental edges. Beal, Ikenna. I haven't watched him, like I said, but if you guys want Ikenna, I can get down with it. Tatum, I love the way you think. I love it. I don't think they even list fullback in these positional rankings, my friend. No, they do not. That is a very good question. Who's the best athlete left, Night Hunter? I am just taking a look here, and what I've seen so far, at least in the Matrix, who is the best? No one's popping off the deal to me here. Evan Hull's decent. Jay Ward didn't test well. Beal, wide receiver, safety for Trey Dean? We already got a safety, fellas. Ladies and gentlemen. Oh, not Dan, Dean. I can't even spell now. Looks like Dean is gone. So we took care of that one. Running back or OT? Okay, let's do this. Let's do some locals. Let's see who's left. Let's see. Deuce went, right? Knowles still here? Okay, Malik Knowles is still here. Earl Bostic's still here from KU. Travis Vokalek. Now, I know this probably just falls as to who and where everybody supports, but you want Malik Willis from K-State, you want Earl Bostic from KU, or you want Travis Vokalek from Nebraska? Talk to me in the chat, folks, and we'll make him our Mr. Irrelevant. I will like that. It'll come down to it. And maybe that's what we'll do is we'll take the best athlete of that group, in which case it would be, I believe, Knowles. OT or edge. OT or edge, that'd be Bostic. I can get down with that. Couple of Bostic votes here. I like where you guys are going. I can understand that, Miss Holly. All right. Looks like. All right. Looks like Earl Bostic's going to make it. Good for him. Rock Chalk, Jayhawk. We have one on the Chiefs. I like it. Ready to roll. So they're going to grade our draft. Don't pay any attention to the grades because we went out and went off of our own board. And that's honestly the way that I do everything anyway. So don't even let it bother you. It's going to come back. They didn't like Darnell Wright. They didn't like Derek Hall. They hated Schoonamaker. They like Cropper. They liked Jomo and Tiabi and Eric Gray. Liked Clayton Tune. Didn't like our last two. Couldn't care less. This is what we did. This is based on our research. This is based on our film watching. And I feel good about what we did here. I am going to narrow it up and see if I can make the window work a little bit better. Oh, now it's going to regrade the draft. There we go. All right. I like what we're seeing now. Okay, so we went Darnell Wright at 31 because both Anton Harrison and all the top three were gone. We came back with Derek Hall. I do think that he's underrated here. I think he'll go somewhere in the second round, so that fits. Schoonmaker was there. I think we could have gotten him later, maybe a little bit, but not all the way back at 123, and I think that was the big problem. So got Moro Joma to rush inside. We got Yaya Diaby to do a little bit of everything, inside and outside, and I think he's got a big upside to him. Marino Cropper comes back into the wide receiver group. Eric Gray is going to help out Isaiah Pacheco. Clayton Tune's going to back up. Patrick Mahomes maybe even beat out Bouchel. We'll see. Kayvon Merriweather, clan vote there. I think the whole club came together and you put it all, excuse me, plan vote that was, P-L-A-N. Sorry about that. I think the whole plan was to have late safety, late running back. Gray, I mean, 6th round, that's still late running back. So I think that plan worked out. Earl Bostic, I think, was a nice one. I wouldn't say that another tackle in the 7th is a plan, but I do think it's an option. So I like that. And overall, I think we got players that the Chiefs can use. I like that one. We're going to wrap it up with a couple of questions that I saw in here. Let me grab those. And in the meantime, give me your feedback. Are you happy with the way that this turned out? If this were the scenario, what grade would you guys give it? Put your letter grades in the chat. I'd like to see them. Let's see. Cole, do you think that Mike Burton returns to the team? Funny enough, I just talked to Mike Burton last week. You guys are going to see and hear from him next week as I get that edited. And we're both optimistic that Mike will be back. So that's the way we're sitting right now, Cole. Thanks for asking that one. Let's see. Jesus said, I heard you don't draft a right tackle in the first round. That's generally the thought, although these days they're starting to feel like tackle is tackle because teams have gone to right tackles are weaker to putting all their edge rushers on that side. The nice thing about Darnell is he played left in 2021. He played right in 2022. So he's got versatility. He can go back and forth. So I like it. But that's a good point that you bring up, Jesus. Let's see. Avery's top four were Wright, Cropper, Gray, Yaya, and Tune. I like it. Yeah, I counted that better that time. That's true. Byron Young or Derek Hall? It's a good question. I think Hall's probably going to be end up being the more impactful player, but I think Young fits what Spags is looking for a little bit more. So that might be it. We got a couple of B minuses, a couple of B pluses. Mark had a C. I'm down with that, buddy. Hope you feel better. I appreciate that, Doug. I'm going to work on it. This is a lot of fun. Looks like you guys are fairly happy with this. And I appreciate that, Night Hunter. I do try to add because that's what I do. PFF is great at stats. I use them to help me fill out some of my stat work. I use a lot of sources, but I also watch the film myself, and I also understand what you can see on film in college that you can project a little bit more physically. That's my area of specialty. You know, I've been an exercise physiologist for 25 years. Good Lord, that's hard to say. 23 years anyway. It's been a long time. So I do try to bring it all together. Thanks for pointing that out, 900. I do appreciate it. What's the chance to take Ojulari first round? As soon as that's a good question. Like if he's there, I think he's different. I think he's more of a 3-4 outside linebacker. He doesn't hold the edge as well as you would like. But you could say the same thing about Frank Clark when he first came into. So, hey, it is what it is. Thank you, Napoleon. I appreciate you. And hey, Cole, that's a great place to start. These are guys that look like options now. Go check them out and see what film you like. Thank you, Miss Holly. I appreciate that. B+ from Sugary. I like that. Let's see. Have you ever tried to cook beans up in the mountains? I appreciate that. Jesus, no, Jomo's not too small for this defense. No. Is he going to be a down and take doubles guy? No. But hey, it is what it is. All right. So thank you guys for pointing out everything tonight. Thank you for being here. Thanks for the super chats and the support, and for you new members. Make sure when you sign up, it's at rookie level or above, and you can also get into the Discord. Excuse me. All you have to do is tie your Discord account to your YouTube account. You can do that over in Discord. You just have to put in the name and sign in. That'll connect you. And once you're a member here, you'll get full access to the Rogue Nation Discord as well. So thanks for spending Sunday night with me. We're going to continue this Sunday Night Live mock drafts. That's what we're doing this offseason. I appreciate all of your time. Thanks for putting up with my voice. It kind of sucks, but hey, we're going to be back. Excuse me. We're going to be back tomorrow night with Dan. He might have to do more of the talking, but hey, you guys have a great night. Enjoy your Monday, and we'll see you tomorrow night.